Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. It is Tuesday, November 9th, 2021, and this is the P.O.C. All right, license plate 9E83494. That's R. Roy R. Trucking, Los Angeles. 7RUC 076. 8XFB 108, 86586W2, 8MDX 968, 7RUC 076, 8GVA 807, 4YDR 356, 8WPO 140, 8RMH 971, BE30T 91 paper, 6VIR 450, 36139P2, 6SYV 409, 6RJS 794, 6FLT 130, 8NSU 546, 7WTW 410, 7DVK 784, 5WEG 081, 7EJG 357, 7PWJ 643, 7TQF 747, I believe. JTRCKN 6MTN 037, 8LJP. I can't really see the rest of that one. You have Brightview, a commercial actor engaging in stalking and federal stalking. 8FZD 519, acting with the state that's patrolling over B&G Plaza via aircraft. And its fake son is directly over B&G Plaza. This is no different than the documentation I've already published. 8BBG 794. The state is keeping its subdued fake son right over my head. These demon-possessed stalkers are maintaining presence in the path. 5JQF 504. These demon-possessed stalkers are maintaining presence at the bus stop, stalking, anticipating my getting on the venue of Omnitrans. They are monitoring as well. Demons engaging in stalking. Brightview, the demon-possessed actor just driving a commercial vehicle, subjecting that company to federal prosecution. You have what is stalking outside of the liquor store of Shiro's Liquor. 43125H2, the demon-possessed sex-offending YMCA, engaging in federal stalking. You have what is Brightview stalking with peculiarized light outside of the liquor store, stalking with the demon-possessed stalker in the red Camry that I took an image of, monitoring with Omnitrans that's at the bus stop. That's what they're doing. They're creating a barrier of light while the state is flying directly over the parking lot. That's audible activity. While the demon-possessed are patrolling in traffic on Holt, the demon-possessed, the Ontario Police Department, as I'm taking the images of the group stalkers in the Andes drive-through, they're crossing path while I'm walking. All right. This is group conduct while they're tracking you all the way around. 8MYD829, Stater Brothers crossing path. 4SZ3611 in a commercial vehicle. 8VLN770. And you have what is the fake son that is directly over the parking lot. Okay. 7BLY134, 2417802, 792 UK handicap. 7VSS114, 8TOW927, 8MXK470. 8APB803. All right, and this is terrorism while the state is engaging in this obsessive level of stalking in concert with the demon-possessed. These are psychopaths, and they are sex offenders because they are stalking you into the bathroom, all right? Listening to you very closely, engaging in surveillance while you're pulling down your panties, stalking in that private space as well, all right? 8SYN465 under that same exact environment, and this is a psychopath that's engaging in trying to cover up that which it knows you're documenting, a fake sun over your head, all right? And they are stalking in concert, including Ontario, 1567967. That's the city of Ontario. Engaging in peculiarized light with Brightview. All right. And I took a picture of what is Brightview, those commercial actors. They're engaging in terrorism, stalking with the flashing light. And understand that this is flashing light that's ongoing in what is the environment of directed light. All right. So they're using their headlights in an environment where the state's directed light is present. They're using flashing lights on their vehicles in the environment where directed light is present. This is the state's engineered light. All right. And this is demonic. All right, they do this as a group. They are monitoring with communication devices. This is terrorism while they engage in stalking, contributing to that environment where they're all doing the same weird thing all around you everywhere you go. And that is in concert, I want to be clear, Ontario Police crossing Path and Holt Boulevard, just like they were stalking across from the museum last night. PFC 6782, and they were doing so in directed light, using their police vehicles as light in the engineered light. That's what they were doing. License 1030011 SHEPRD. That's the vehicle that's crossing with commercial vehicle. Surtec 8T45553, I believe, substantially similar. And that's what they're engaging in while I'm inside of Shiro's Liquor at B&G Plaza, and the state's fake sun is over the B&G Plaza. All the state does is cover it up. That's what it did at the Terra Vista Town Center. You're never going to see, if that was actually the sun, I would never be able to see it through the window of the Omnitrans bus. Route 66. Route 61, because the state has documented keeping its fake sun over me from the museum north, essentially, to get to the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. All right. And the state, the psychopath, the sex offender, which is why it's going to be prosecuted, and that's why you're speaking to what is the necessary policy, because the psychopath, the demon-possessed stalker, that is the public entity, the state of California, and the people of the state, who I continue to identify, 8RJX439, they are engaging in what is obsessive level stalking, threatening your life, showing a determination to engage in stalking. 5MUF743 with knowledge of everywhere that you're documenting about their demented group activity, which is satanic. All right. That's already a threat to your life when you've got a group practicing satanic conduct. 8D56793. All right. And that's exactly what I've demonstrated. The state flying over your head in a helicopter. That's demonic. All right, you need to know that it's demonic, it's demented. Whether you understand, whether you know that that's demonic, regardless, flying over you repeatedly in a circle over your head is demented. All right, that's very terrorizing. Period. But I'm letting you know that's not just weird. It's not just scary. It's demonic. All right, and this is the pattern that the people of the state engage in too. They drive around in circles. They walk around in circles. This is the demon-possessed. They're psychopaths, all right? And they do that in their engineered light. They're in their element, all right? Satan in their element in that engineered light. It's demonic. And they use their flashing lights. They use their brake lights. They use their reverse lights. They use their headlights. They use their hazard lights in this engineered light. That's what they're doing commercially. That's a stalker. Stalking commercially. This is a new concept. That's what Brightview is engaging in. License 7THS607, 8WND443, 7UAX602, 8BWG275, 7HCH587, 7PDB598, BYG576, I believe, KESER2, 43900J1, 8LWF308, 7AGW264, 8ETZ960, 8VS903, I believe, or 093, can't say it. Puritan Bakery, who was also stalking at Andy's Burgers. I only took a picture of Vitco Foods. Puritan Bakery engaging in P.O.C. as well. 25808B1. Loitering in relevant position under the subdued fake sun, which is over B&G Plaza. Route 61, 1545817, bus 2347, present. License 5EES455, P.O.C. It's 8:46 a.m. 8TOH 929. FedEx is at campus and Holt Boulevard, stalking in the path using a commercial vehicle, and you are stalking in the state's environment, and they have already demonstrated not only their demon possession as a company, but you're talking about the fact that they are fully engaged in stalking commercially. All right, license 8V65918. That's FedEx. It's going west on Holt Boulevard, and it is 8:50 a.m. And this is Route 61 again that I'm on. Subject to federal stalking. 5WDL988, 7DLJ809, 8ANY158. K2. CWK 504, passing Allen and Holt Boulevard. Allen turns into Bondview. VAZ036 at Grove and Holt. 8VAE622. 6RNB 435.
Requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
Alright, monitoring at State Facilitating Venue, the United States Postal Service, located at 1555 West Holt Boulevard. This is P.O.C. Fake Sun is documented. It's right over the same venue. It's a state facilitating venue, and they're also in those government vehicles engaging in federal stalking and demonstrating demon possession as well. That's U.S. Postal Service at 1555 West Holt Boulevard. Sheriff's Department crossing path. The San Bernardino County Sheriff. 7 PEG 814. And guess what? Right now at 8:54 a.m., the state's fake sun is moving right on past the county building, where I'm capturing it at all times of the day over me while I'm at that venue. 8CLS 136. All right, and again, the county, San Bernardino County, they represent the government. That's a state actor engaging in the state system. That's why the fake sun is over that venue while I'm there. 8VAE622, 818WR handicap. That's why the fake sun is passing right on by it while I'm on the bus. That's why they have directed light inside of their venue. That's why you have the demonic behavioral pattern ongoing inside of that venue. License 1589378, Ontario Police. 1545812, Omnitrans. BSK D5A. That looks like a commercial vehicle. Ryder, RYDER, commercial actor. FNX 64L. I can't really see that one actually. 8SYB 924. TZR 409. 64708A3.
Airport drive is in order.
Alrighty, at state facilitating venue, the Ontario International Airport, federal group stalking monitoring is ceaselessly underway. Understand the state's environment is present. It is a venue and criminal activity is ongoing. Whether you're getting on a plane, whether you're getting off of a plane, whether you're waiting for somebody that's arriving or vice versa, the state's environment is present and everything is ongoing, is facilitating that, and the demon-possessed at the Ontario International Airport are also intentionally creating activity in that environment that they know is present, all right? It does not matter what type of venue it is. It is a state system 8VGS 610. And it is 8:57 a.m. 7 P.O.P. 959, and that's exactly why I capture what is directed light around me on the bus while we're passing through the Ontario International Airport. The environment is present for that criminal purpose, and it is also, remember, an ongoing indication of the demon-possessed that surround you. That's a threat on multiple levels. .586 NAL. That's an Oregon plate. KESER 2 at the airport now, across the path. I read that license plate today already. ACF 221, 8HRH 058, license 8AYH142. Read that one already. 61610A2. That's taxi cab. Or bell cab, excuse me. Alright, Ontario Police being at the airport is no forum. They're in the environment and they are engaged in a pattern of federal stalking. Period. That agency does not have forum at any particular venue. This is P.O.C. It's 9:02 a.m. License 6HBH 378 18301F3. (92685A2). It's 9:02 a.m. and that is federal stalking at the Ontario International Airport. Some of whom I'm able to identify. That entire venue is monitoring, and the government is present through their presence in the path, in the environment. H4680-806. 86107Y2. Both of them monitoring using their communication devices in the environment. That's an automatic federal charge. Just want to be clear. The government's monitoring. 8EXD167, where the government's monitoring and the government is stalking with the environment. That's an automatic federal charge. License, covered up. 8, I'm sorry, I can't see that one. 7NXP479, 8FMU597, 8DOL125, 6UYY840. Monitoring at the Arco at Archibald. That looks like the address 729 Archibald Avenue. That's the Arco. AX60H19. That's a paper plate. That was at the mobile. 8GCB902, I believe. 8ATPO95. At Via Molinara at Inland Empire, where they're inside of that venue monitoring. Yeah, 8GCB092. That's a correct flight. Engaging in federal stalking, using the roads and the highways. That's interstate commerce. Monitoring with communication devices. Interstate commerce on the venue of the internet. Interstate commerce. Doing so as an entity, the people of the state, that is intended to intimidate. That's intended to injure. All right. That's intended to terrorize. That's beyond the language of, and that is speaking to what the people of the state are engaging in. These are the demon-possessed engaging in federal stalking. All right, 18 U.S.C. 22618 just touches it's barely touching the substance of what the entity is engaging in. 8JLV794. It does not go far enough. All right, and prosecution is going to go farther. It's going to touch every demonic method employed. 8FSF925. 8K. GB378, and they're all using their communication devices on the bus as well. They're on camera on the Omnitrans bus. Directed light is on the bus. All right, this is the state's venue. It covers. There is no separation from it, and this is how you have what is vicarious presence. This is what you have as a venue. It's not your home anymore. The government's environment is present. You're in a venue, and the target individual will drag any demon out of any venue and prosecute him. You don't have any form. That's what I'm saying. It does not exist. It literally does not exist when you understand what the government is doing. 28617F1. But see, the idea, the notion is 1562146, that it's impossible to ever prosecute this sort of system, even if you're aware of it, because the notion that you're trying to prosecute every individual for stalking and you don't know their name, you don't know them personally, how are you going to create any basis for that, right? It's an entirely false premise. It's the government that's stalking. The government is stalking through the people in concert with the people. And that's why the fake sun is directly over this Omnitrans bus right now. I'm at Mercedes and Inland Empire. J.B. Hunt is stalking with light, using the commercial trucks on Inland Empire to create peculiarized light in that environment. That's P.O.C. It is 9:08 a.m. HOE 516. It's 9:09 a.m. at Inland Empire and Ferrari. Monitoring at the Arco, using an Arco vehicle with hazard lights, that's peculiarized light, and the demons are patrolling in the gas stalls, stalking in relevant position at that gas station. All right, I'm just isolating one venue. They're all monitoring together. This is what I'm looking at, the AM PM at the intersection of Milliken and Inland Empire. They're monitoring. 8 UTH 993. CTN 021. This is Ontario Mills. They're patrolling and loitering in relevant position at the McDonald's. This is the venue at the where the bus stop is. This is the maintenance of light. This is the maintenance of presence, and they're patrolling in and out of the drive-thru, sitting in the drive-thru, driving past. This is P.O.C. They're patrolling in the environment. 072857X. That's a commercial vehicle. It says Roma Performance. Roma. 8ULM 462. 8VSE 449. And Coca-Cola crossing path on Milliken in a commercial vehicle. That's Coca-Cola. 8NDL 995. Seven UZC 369. 6YTC 369. All right, this has been P.O.C. while Omnitran sits with hazards on, and they enter and exit through this drive-thru right here. McDonald's is where they're patrolling in and out. 1599061 is San Bernardino County, engaging in federal stalking via the drive-thru. I already read that license plate. In the environment, monitoring with Omnitrans. That's P.O.C. This is Ontario Mills. 6 TSB 707. VPW 7620. David A. Nice Builders, Williamsburg, Virginia, and it's a Virginia license plate. This is P.O.C. Group stalking and monitoring at the intersection of Gurney and 4th Street at the Ontario Mills. Let's see. CXU 717, 8PTV 357, 8DMB 342, N411JO, 11570. That's the Bank of America on 4th and Buffalo. They're sitting in the parking lot using their vehicle lights, stalking in the path. All right, and that's just one venue. That's what they're doing, and all of these venues are monitoring. I'm identifying nothing but a venue where I'm at. This is systematic monitoring. The government is maintaining very hovering presence, monitoring through the very people in the businesses, in their cars, on the streets, walking around on bikes, however they're crossing path. All right, but Bank of America, they are on surveillance cameras. We are at the intersection of Buffalo and 4th. They are stalking with light and doing so in the parking lot and inside. That's criminal facilitation and monitoring conduct. P956291, I believe. I can't really see that one. Passing Jerome's Furniture, passing Costco. Y1 Inland Paper Company, California 0145903. Inland Paper Company Incorporated, IPC.
West Valley Detention Center.
Alright, so we are approaching Etiwanda, passing Barrington, approaching Etiwanda on 4th Street. This is what I was documenting while I was kidnapped at the state facilitating meeting of West Valley, where the state kept its fake sun, right, and was aiming directed light inside of that environment, where all of them were documented engaging in federal stalking and kidnapping and terrorism and sexual violence in violation of the laws governing that facility as well. But nonetheless, Vertex is crossing path. You have what is the state amplifying the sound of traffic inside of that jail cell where I was kidnapped. You cannot hear traffic. It's absolutely impossible, and this is what I'm speaking to, where I'm in the bathroom and I'm telling you what is the intentional activity creation inside. That's the state's pattern of conduct. All right, and that is demonic. It's terrorism, and it's also sexually violent because it's ongoing inside of the bathroom. All right, while the entity is engaging in surveillance, knows exactly what you're doing. All right, not only because this is the government engaging in surveillance, but because these are the demon possessed, and the demon possessed know what you're doing. By the way, they know what you're doing when they don't have to be looking at you. This is how they're engaging in that demonic conduct, and I have witnessed it. The demon possessed are sexually violent creatures, yet to be subject to federal prosecution for their criminal conduct. It is 9:20 a.m. Group stalking at Prologis, Mohawk Industries Incorporated. Yeah, they're monitoring. FedEx crossing paths repeatedly. 3 trucks at the intersection of Etiwanda and San Bernardino. 80090Y1. Inland Paper Company is keeping pace, maintaining presence. We're at San Bernardino Avenue and Kaiser Way. They're maintaining presence. That's called loitering in relevant position. C.R. England, that's a truck company, is carrying Walmart. Both of those are third parties. It is 9:22 a.m. 15543L2 and the San Bernardino County Fire Department on San Bernardino Avenue, they're sitting in their battalion trucks with the headlights on. That's the same. They're stalking with light in the path while the bus is driving by. They're in the environment, engaging in the P.O.C. That is the fire department on San Bernardino Avenue, right before Beach Avenue and San Bernardino. Six ZXP 709. 8 VVT 748. 8 XPD 015. 13421N1. That's VG Pool Services. You're monitoring. 5X BR 538 at Oleander and San Bernardino. Alright, the state is following with its fake sun. It hasn't gone anywhere. Alright, GALINDA. The state just covers it up. That's what I showed you in video over the B&G Plaza. And what are you going to remember? You're going to remember all that wealth of documentation of what the state was doing day in and day out while I did not go to Fontana, while I stayed at Holt Boulevard and at the library. Alright, this is clear prosecution of the people of the state. 4WOS 687. 5 SAH 3978 LWX 470. And you have what is a pattern, a very specific pattern of maintaining light facing me. And I'm on a bus, I'm on transportation, and they're all doing, this is demonic, okay? And it is a state system. 6 RBG 662, and they're all doing it under that which is not the sun that is remaining over me. Okay, that's a whole system broken down. And these are the demon possessed, and they're psychopaths. 6 VWE 467. 7 CNF 510. 7 EUP 684. Turning on a jumper at San Bernardino Avenue. 8 KAZ 806. 7 RYG 604. 3 EKA 799. 5 GUF 861. 9417921. 7 EUP 684. 8 VXS 138. 5 NFV 871. 6 6YYS 395 8XX G305.
Sí. Favor, usar la puerta trasera.
6VZB146 at the El Super at 9850 Sierra Avenue, where the state's fake son arrived over me as I sat at the bus stop over here at Sierra and Marigold. They're monitoring. And Omnitrans has been stalking with peculiarized light. Short bus number 9223. Aramark group stalking inside of the venue with peculiarized light. 8UVY 252. Aramark is beside the Waba Grill where the Sizzler is closed down. They're stalking in the path with the hazard lights facing toward the street. Omnitrans is in line with the bus. That's in alignment with me with hazard lights on. They are in the environment. That's Aramark and Omnitrans together. And those are just commercial actors. And then let me be clear, that's demon possession of those companies engaging in terrorism. 7LKL471 7TJF 393. They're all monitoring with that light activity that Aramark and Omnitrans are creating. Let's see, license. It is 9:34 a.m. American Tire Depot is monitoring. American Tire Depot is on Sierra Avenue. RLW 818. JV 745. Six 7873R1. Seven POU 213. 8 PNZ 229. Six 3644Z1 Burtec. 18982W2. Operation of his communication device. It is 9:38 a.m. One 1563023, City of Fontana. 14511X1.
Fontana Metro.
It's called
Transit
TRX.
Center. Service by U.S.C. 10.
1234520, Omnitrans.
61, 66, 67, 82, 312.
1387141, Omnitrans.
And Metrolink.
They're in the environment with peculiarized light.
Use the crosswalk or you may receive a ticket.
It is 9:39 a.m. And this is P.O.C. All right, stalking in the path is FedEx, license 97588W2. UPS is at the opposite end with peculiarized light. I took a picture of that. Monitoring with Omnitrans, I'm at the Fontana Metrolink train station, and this is license 1545817. All right, I want to punctuate my documentation of federal stalking while I'm in transit. All right, this is where they're using the roads and the highways, and I'm subject to the P.O.C. I was on bus with license plate 1545817, driven by the older African-American male, and that was bus number 2347. And upon getting off, you have what is FedEx stalking in the path. Across the street from third-party facilitating venue, the Village at Sierra, you have UPS stalking in the path on Orange Way at the opposite end using peculiarized light. Let me be clear, this is ominous stalking conduct by the demon-possessed driving commercial vehicles. I'm going to prosecute and I'm going to create legislation to drag such demon-possessed actors. That is entirely terrorizing conduct that I just documented while they are stalking together under that which is not the sun. This is tethering everything that they are engaging in, objective conduct that is within the pattern of conduct by the state while they are acting vicariously and doing so through commercial vehicles. This is entirely malicious. All right, and understand the conduct. The ordinary targeted individual is very much aware of what is ongoing, and they are subject to this system while malicious actors, the demon-possessed, use commercial vehicles, which is a way to falsely depict that targeted individual as being one who's suffering from some sort of paranoia while they're witnessing the same weird conduct amongst those who are even in vehicles such as FedEx and UPS. All right, stalking in the path. Everywhere that you're at, sitting around in their vehicles, creating light activity, okay? The flashing light. This is a pattern that you notice, and this is speaking to the malice. That's UPS and FedEx acting with Omnitrans at state facilitating venue, Fontana Metrolink train station. It is currently 9:43 a.m., and I'm going to prosecute. I'm going to prosecute 8FXZ299, and I'm also going to prescribe. This demon possession has nothing to do with your type of job. It has to do with the prosecution and associating those companies to be prosecuted for terrorism as sex offenders. But it has nothing to do with possession. 7UQM021. And that's what these companies are demonstrating. And while they are out here trying to make a buck and they're engaging in criminal conduct on behalf of a government, and their condition is that of one that is highly unstable. All right. 6TXL497, 6FJK797, 5LBU663, 71605Y1. 6FFX427, 8TPV586, 8HAC139. It's 9:44 a.m. Seven XTT267. 4SYV859. JNJ249. 48NY167, 5H25007, 8GTK725, 1545907, Omnitrans, Route 67, Bus 2363, BT92716 or BT92Z16. It's paper. 7UQA195. It's paper on a Chevy Suburban. That's a new Suburban. (7NVK073) 8SPF435 6DTK958 6XTS240. It's 9:46 a.m. (7RMB661 5XNJ 951 7UQU384 8NIX399 8DIC296 6XKJ 684, I believe, 8SXD657 7URB825 8PXS300 5SBT678 8M48442 6WLN619 8LRD903 8EJW991 7ENY573. This is paper BM93H11 on an old Nissan. 8WSH 355 4529 483. 7VEC 193. 733UL handicap. FedEx is group stocking at the Citibank at Arrow and Sierra right now, 47359C2. Still stocking in the path and using that commercial vehicle to engage in that conduct with the government. And this is a psychopath that, with knowledge of what you're documenting. Let's see, license 7NLR739. MEG033 24G6053 8SAP864 6KOE988 8LJA278 8SDP261 8KVY229 85257C3 8GBW648 00946D3 8DXJ492 42610U2 7CQB517 8R49805 All right, and I was going to make a point with this demon-possessed stalker with the paper plate, and he crossed path again from the midpoint point BM93H11. These paper plates and also the entity that it's monitoring with knowledge that it's being documented and laws going to be formulated, et cetera, et cetera. This is speaking to not only the threat posed by the entity and the crime, based on the crime that they're engaged in, but you also have what is pursuant to that knowledge, pursuant to that demonic feature. All right, and let me be clear, Satan is real. Satan is personified through the people and the demonic conduct that they're engaging in, 7UOX937, 8PMJ093. Satan is indeed beyond a psychopath. You're witnessing what are closeted psychopaths existing in the United States, having never been, for example, well, I can't speak for all of them, I don't know their criminal records, but the ordinary psychopath, the ordinary demon-possessed is not necessarily one that has a criminal record, okay? And how many times have you seen a Dateline or 48 Hours where somebody engaged in a heinous crime and they had no background of any criminal conduct? This is not indicative of what is wrong with someone because of what they look like or the absence of a criminal record. All right, the criminal system is not searching your soul. It is not even interested in, and this is based on the Constitution, what is wrong with you spiritually speaking, what your condition is. All right. And you have what is knowledge of being documented. You have what are psychopaths that hop in any car, cover up that license plate so that they can cross path. 8JGM939. All right. And that's what this third party act literally looks like. And that's literally what he's doing. He's driving around in circles. And I was going to make that point, but I was going to wait, but he drove past again. So let me make this point. It's the same thing with the buses, with the school buses. They very much look like anybody from the city of Ontario, for example. They can hop inside of any vehicle in order to engage in what is that crossing and path conduct. And this is the entity that knows that you're documenting it. This is I'm only speaking to because the target individual is going to document a period. You can drive whatever company vehicle you want. That company name is going to be exposed. You're going to prosecute whatever they want to use. It's going to be prosecuted. All right. It's going under that name. All right. This is the government that is not going to escape, period. All right. And this is bringing the government down to size. And the target individual is having a seat at the table and enforcing their constitutional rights. And there's no tactic that the government's going to use, such as having some demon-possessed stalker just hop inside of another car, another vehicle, or inside of any venue, cover up the license plate, and engage in the criminal elements of monitoring and terrorism and sexual violence. All right. And this is what you have, this weirdo that's driving around in circles. This is called patrolling. And this is also the outward demonstration of demon possession. Understand? Flying around in a circle in a helicopter, driving around in a circle in a vehicle in the environment. This is demonic activity. That's just one. In the aggregate, they are cockroaches. They're all patrolling as one. They're one entity. They're not separate. Understand this. The environment is present. The government is crossing paths repeatedly over and over again. And then with the directed light, you're seeing the sexual violence of these demon-possessed cockroaches. Every time that these demons are crossing paths, you're being molested with directed light over and over and over again. All right. That's just an example, but I wanted to make that point, and that group stalker punctuated it for me. 4EVRSAM 0481472 7WBT411 1522123. That is city of, let me get the 6DYG201. That is San Bernardino County. 81184X2 7FIM629 8VEA329 8PDM558 6LPH617 5TMC116 6VHU902 8WWE795, and also 8YNS399, 8BLY338, 7T16793, 1545682. That's Omnitrend. 7WHF482, 27076F2, 7MUS186. Also, you have what is, again, establishing this and understanding this and actually robbing the entity, because California is not the only entity engaging in this. This is what the government is doing. You have what is 5YEA674, not the sole method of documentation. All right, so they can engage in paper plates all they want, because that's what California did. And I have never seen so many paper license plates, never saw it before. When I started documenting, everybody's got a paper license plate now. That's not going to obviate a prosecution, and there's more than one mode of documentation, 8LDW396. And you're remembering what the crime is. Monitoring with communication devices. Knowledge of where the target individual is, where they remain. That's what they're documenting who's around them. And the government has many, many ways of identifying everyone who's around. And when you're understanding the system, you don't have any form. All you need is presence. And for reaching very, very far to prosecute. 5805OW1, 7HCB094, 8EZY807. All right, so I just want to be clear. These are a bunch of futile efforts, but it is speaking to what is the psychopath. All right, the state covering up that which is not the sun while it knows that you're documenting the fact that you're stalking with that which is not the sun. That's a psychopath. That's the government too. Threatening your life. Okay? Engaging in obsessive conduct. And you know why? It's demon possession. The government practicing demonic activity. Personifying that which is satanic. This is the character of Satan itself. Understand that. And you have what is Satan acting through a government, acting via the people. And now with regard to, getting away from that spiritual aspect, the reality is that they're engaging in federal stalking. Demons sitting around in their car under a fake sun that just appears over my head in Fontana. All right, 7FZH731, operation of a communication device, 8AWD313. 15856L2, 6ZND17L. They're an engineered light operating communication devices. They're monitoring 02164L2, 8KUL227, 54388R1, 7WRT685, 6NLE596, 8LXL506, 8EMY628, BU98N87, 8VOE441, 6DQK346. And it is 9:56 a.m. FFW134. Stalking in the back alley with hazard lights on. In alignment to learner. Alrighty, showing what is that ongoing pattern of stalking with hazard lights, flashing lights, all right? Any method of light, sitting with the headlights on toward your direction. This is the pattern in the state's environment, all right? And that is also contributing to that environment. It's ongoing in that environment. This is a pattern by the people. These are the demon possessed. They're engaging in demonic activity. 7JWP608 doing the same thing, all right? 5MYL913, 8TQR563, 8HZX820, City of Fontana 1492682, 5HZE786, 1253668, 7KRH413, 37692G2, 6RTS388, CTE3554. That is Arizona, I believe. This is P.O.C. 8CKJ751, 6X JW723. And it is 9:59 a.m. State's Fake Sun is over the Fontana Lewis Library. And that is ongoing terrorism and that communication of a threat. Remember, the entity that is a sex offender and is a stalker is also monitoring your documentation, and all of this is going toward what is that prosecution, what is that creation of policy, and what is also prescription. All right, when you're understanding the state of mind of an entity that is a people, as you slice them down at prosecution, what is wrong with them when you're engaging in this system. All right, and all the implications related to that. It is 9:59 a.m. This is P.O.C. Okay, directed light covering the surfaces inside of the venue, and this is the intentional presence of the entity inside of the venue in that environment, stalking together with audible noise, which is amplified, all right, and engaging in what is inherently sexually violent conduct in that private space. This is the sexual violent threat that is present as well. The private space is right here inside of the same computer lab where the surfaces are covered with directed light, and that's exactly what I captured yet again. And again, not only is this not sunlight, you're talking about that which is horizontally aimed, and this is under that which is clearly not the sun, and under no circumstances is that light activity even going to occur when the state is keeping its fake sun over the entrance of the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, and for the duration of the day, replete with that light activity that I have captured thoroughly inside of that venue, all right? And this is what you're remembering. But we can go back even further because the state's fake sun was remaining over Woodside Senior Apartments, and I'm capturing what is the same exact directed light, not sunlight, inside of that venue. Okay, this is P.O.C. and this is what you're witnessing. This is the ongoing pattern of conduct that's occurring on the roads and the highways is ongoing inside. The state is aiming directed light in multiple directions. They are crossing path, stalking with activity. These are demons. And doing so while they are touching. The state is touching, molesting with directed light, and they are touching while their shadows are appearing at a distance, moving across the wall. Light, their shadows, figures appearing across the surfaces while the state is aiming directed light. This is all matter of terrorism and molestation necessarily while directed light fills the venue, all right, and covers the surfaces all around. All right, it is 10:04 a.m. and that is P.O.C. All right, this is speaking to the documentation published regarding the pattern of conduct, and this is the template, all right, the exact same pattern of conduct that occurs inside of the venue. And this is nothing new. I'm providing what is additional information to the slideshows that are published. And so you are speaking to what is, first of all, the environment, okay? And This is the directed light. This is the state's light source that is over the venue, all right, which is documented, all right? This is established. You are isolating the P.O.C. to a venue, but you are understanding what is the government maintaining ubiquitous presence, i.e. the state is a stalker, okay? And the state is acting in concert with the people of the state who are vicariously present, stalking, group stalking as an entity. So you have what is the environment. This is what you are considering. You are also considering what is the demonic behavioral pattern, simultaneous creation of audible activity and light activity pursuant to what I physically do, pursuant to what I do on a communication device. You are also speaking to what is the environment, not just with regard to the impossible light, but with regard to the amplification of audible activity, right? And this is the terrorism, all right? And so as you are documenting what is presence, as you are documenting what is the environment, you are literally looking in at what is demonic activity, really. But this is federal stalking amongst the demon possessed. And so, for example, what you see with the bookcase, understand what is this translating to? That is a method of audible activity. And not just audible activity, that is amplified, occurring in the environment pursuant to what is a demonic behavioral pattern used to stalk with audible activity, all right? You are looking at what is walking around in the environment, where impossible light, that is their shadows from across the room, moving across the wall beside me, in front of me, around me. This is a method of touching as well, okay? This is ongoing inside of the environment, and this is the significance of capturing the images of, first of all, presence, second of all, understanding what is demonic activity, all right? You're not going to see horns on their head, tails on their behinds, all right? The demonic activity is literally the conduct that I am documenting while they're engaging in criminal conduct. And this is demonic. You are engaging in presence in this demonic environment. This is the outward demonstration of demon possession. You are engaging in a demonic behavioral pattern using whatever it is that you do, including something as simple as walking up to the desk and asking a question. Anything. What is that? You're breaking it down into the elements. What are the demons doing? It's a strict pattern. They are creating audible activity with simultaneity to what I am doing and what I am doing on the internet, on a communication device, in the environment, right? Patrolling in and out of the bathroom to clean it while what you're doing in the bathroom is amplified, all right? And you're arriving to do so with simultaneity to whatever it is that I am doing. This is the demonic behavioral pattern, all right? Slamming books on the bookshelf. While you are doing whatever it is that you're doing as your job in the environment. You are in the venue, you are stalking, you are practicing demonic activity. This is terrorism. All right. And so this is the significance of what I captured. And this is the exact same pattern of conduct that I'm documenting in transit, on the roads and the highways, in the exact same maintained environment. Using vehicles, they are using their persons. It is the same movement within that light source, all right? And this is that ongoing ceaseless pattern underway. And this is a very strict pattern that is abided by the demon possessed. This is absolutely demented, absolutely demonic, all right? This is what I've captured. It's 1:38 p.m. and this is documentation of what is molestation. This is inside of the venue, an ongoing orgy that I have in no way consented to, as they are repeatedly touching, right? The state is molesting with directed light, and you are intentionally engaging in what is crossing path in that environment that you are aware is there, because you're doing it also pursuant to a demonic behavioral pattern, all right? But let me also be clear, the presence of the environment, period, is the deduction of intent on the part of the people of the state. All right, this is not an ongoing environment that they are always ignorant of this, and this is not reasonable to even posit. All right, this is P.O.C. The environment is present. You are intentionally present. Period. That's the prosecution of the entity. But you're speaking to what is an ongoing molestation each and every time, and then also with regard as I publish it, you've got more demons that they'll just engage in. They're literally the living dead. It's like they're cockroaches, and as I publish something that is damning, all right, they don't like it. All right, okay, this is the reality, and they're monitoring it. Then you'll have a whole bunch of them come out and walk. And remember, they're all walking in directed light. So they're engaging in an ongoing molestation. It's not almost as though this is essentially the demon's way of expressing hostility while they're touching in a manner that they know is displeasing because they're monitoring the documentation. This is translated, this is analyzed as the violent sex offender, all right? Everything that they are doing, you're going to analyze and prosecute for it. And this is the ongoing P.O.C. inside of the venue. This is a state facilitating venue, the Fontana Lewis Library of Technology. excuse me, the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center in the city of Fontana. It is 1:40 p.m. and that is P.O.C. All right, I want to document Amazon Prime at Fontana Lewis Library monitoring in a vehicle. She's got the Amazon uniform on, operation of communication device, and directed light. This is a paper plate, BT38V42, and this is a female with short blonde hair wearing glasses driving a white Nissan, and it's 6:25 p.m. and she's exiting the venue. She's crossing path. She is operating communication device in directed light. She is monitoring with one under the age of 18, engaging in sexual violence, engaging in terrorism with a minor who was also stalking in the path, engaging in federal stalking, in creation of audible activity with simultaneity to my crossing path as I'm walking out. That's demonic activity. All right, so this is you're analyzing what's the combination of that demonic activity with what is criminal conduct, federal stalking. That's Amazon Prime walking out, and they're on camera. She's on camera. She's wearing, at least she's wearing an Amazon Prime uniform. And let me point out what you're listening to right now. These are demon-possessed little teenagers in directed light, multiple shadows, using their skateboards to stalk with noise. And this is the reality of what's wrong with California. They're engaging in criminal conduct as well. Okay, and this is what was unexpected by the government that's practicing demonic activity, doing so with children, and you're going to prosecute that. So anyway, it is currently Amazon Prime monitoring to that activity with minors. That has a whole legal analysis behind it. Anyway, that Amazon Prime that employee is monitoring at Fontana Lewis Library as I exit. Okay, and it is 6:26 p.m. and she was driving not a Amazon Prime vehicle or like a employee vehicle. She's in what appears to be her own vehicle, or a Nissan. I'll just say a Nissan. She's driving a Nissan with a paper plate. I just want to make sure I document that. And it's also notable what I published today about Amazon Prime. Understand the entity is monitoring everything that I'm publishing and documenting. And these are not coincidences, and that's why I note them. And it will be relevant when you are prosecuting, especially as what I've documented has been made clear. I could have sworn she just said to stop doing that, right? Minions. Whew. Not only is it criminal, Satan is very annoying. I just want to be clear. All right. So anyway, you have what is the engagement and what are the criminal elements as I'm exiting. And what I'm speaking of is the knowledge of what you are publishing while you are publishing it, and this is relevant as to the bigger picture. And so this is also why I speak to the details as I do, because and I already know that documentation has revealed what it is, but this is that whole culmination where, you know, at that prosecution, and it is no secret, all right, fully revealed in detail what they were doing, what they knew, what they intended to do as they were doing it. That's why it's relevant, okay? So anyway, it is currently 6:28 p.m. and that's P.O.C, Fontana Lewis Library, the security. They're monitoring, all right? Even as they're coming out, hey, no skateboarding, it's audible activity. They are in directed light. It's the same thing with a police officer arresting what is a third party, right? Outwardly, it is appearing as though these are, one, actually enforcing to the detriment of the other. Actually, they're demons that are monitoring together, and they are in the environment together. All right, and this is how the system appears on the outset. You're dealing with demonic activity. So anyway, it's 6:28 p.m. and that's P.O.C. leaving Fontana Lewis Library. Okay, 6DQK346, 7MPR477, 6WFS306. Closes the door, opens the door, closes it again. That's a demon coming from Fontana Chamber of Commerce, an Asian male. In directed light, and the state flying over me by helicopter. He is in relevant position and was monitoring to that. That's a demon-possessed stalker engaging in federal stalking. All right, this is P.O.C. It is currently 6:32 p.m. And not only did I capture that video, I also captured what is the picture of my shadows on both sides of me. And as I'm walking through that same parking lot, this group stalker, this is a state actor with 6WFS306 who was crossing path in that parking lot in directed light, is monitoring. That's terrorism. He's the same entity. It's not separate. And why the entity provides that sort of documentation. You're talking about, this is the obsessive demonic impulse. This is that impermissible threat. All right, in the face of insurmountable evidence. This is speaking to the creation of that policy. All right, 8 MGC 861, 8WQL 326, 8BRY 949, all of them demons, okay? Including Omnitrans 7YZF 122. Omnitrans is merely an identification of a company that is being operated and employing the demon possessed, and they're right here in relevant position as well. Engaging in terrorism with that state that just flew over my head in a helicopter in directed light. 8PWP 855, 8EVK 182. All right, 6:41 p.m. I did capture video of what is the directed light that's on the surfaces right here next to me on the Fontana Chamber of Commerce. And as I'm capturing that video, you have what is the creation of audible activity by the fire department right here at the parking lot of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce, the Fontana Lewis Library, 8CKB 86 or 682, excuse me, 8VZP 291, license 323KT. And as they engage in what is demonic activity, these are the elements of federal stalking. They're monitoring with communication devices. As they do that, and this is speaking to the directed light, the sounding of sirens, as I start capturing this video, you have what is obstruction of justice monitoring on the podcast, which I will take an image of, trying to obstruct the audio that I just recorded. License BT93A56. That's direct evidence against the fire department right here in Fontana. They're monitoring with these minions who I'm identifying on my podcast. And this is the ongoing pattern of conduct while the state engages in such conduct. Those are the criminal elements of monitoring. All right, that is federal stalking. Engaging in a direct impact on the podcast that I was in the process of recording. All right, trying to obstruct that. That's P.O.C. All right, and it's also demonic activity as they engage in this ritualistic conduct. It is achieving federal stalking, monitoring on communication devices, and this is the central focus of the demon possessed. All right, this demonic activity is centered on technology, on the use of their communication devices. All right, while they maintain this engineered light and light activity creation in that engineered light. That's why the people and that's why the state stalk with light. Okay, license 7XES 347. All right, and I will be taking a screenshot of that. That's direct evidence of federal stalking. All right, and what I captured in that podcast is the federal stalking presence of the Fontana police, whose license plate I don't need. They're also on the traffic cameras right here. Omnitrans, whose license plate I do not need, heavily documented engaging in federal stalking and ongoing sexual violence. And they were engaging in that at this very intersection where I just captured evidence of what is directed light in the environment. After capturing what is the directed light while the state is flying over my head in a helicopter, and they're seeking to obstruct that podcast, which is evidence of exactly what I am documenting right now, okay? And I continue to document. License plate 7CQD415, but I will document that is the specific state actor, the Fontana Police Department right here at Sierra, all right? And this is engaging in obstruction of justice, and that's going specifically to that fire department. That's a state actor, and the entire entity, they're right here surrounding with communication devices, monitoring to that activity that fire department created in directed light as I began shooting that video, okay? That's the P.O.C, by the way, and it's demonic activity. All right, the act of terrorism of following the helicopter is Fontana PD with Omnitrans engaging in sexual molestation at the same exact time. Very heavy duty stalking conduct while you're molesting the body. And you are engaging in what is monitoring on my communication device. And this is why you're engaging in this heavy duty stalking conduct. And these predators are maintaining presence at the intersection under the fake moon, which is also what I captured. 5ZHL243. 7YFG699, 8LDW396. License plate, audible activity, 7YFG699. I'll make sure, I think I got that one already. Capturing what is molestation. All right, I'm going to prosecute them as sex offenders. They are very violent sex offenders, psychopaths. 6TMC935. and you're remembering the environment is present. So these are predators, indeed, that are in the specifically designed environment, stalking with the state that is following by law enforcement, fire, ambulance, and with fake suns and fake moons. And you have what is directed light, molesting all over my body. You are indeed a predator that is waiting to molest at the lights. And this is what I'm documenting are the predators that are touching while you're walking by, and they're stalking. Okay, that's the government that's touching all over you like it always is, and like it is right now. That's why I have my shadows around me. That's why, I'm sorry, you only have one shadow. That's why I have multiple shadows around me. 6FCZ767. Yeah, and these demons on the skateboard you hear across the street, they have upright shadows while the demons are pacing. 6YTM175, they're monitoring. And on the communication device, in that directed light across the street using a skateboard for audible activity, that's a demon, all right? And a teenage one, okay? Rialto police crossing path. They were engaged in kidnapping on February 18, 2020. And that was Officer Rekte, R-E-K-T-E. Rialto police are crossing path right now monitoring. 6FDX523. They're driving east on on Arrow Boulevard, right here at Sierra in directed light. They're monitoring, and they were engaged in kidnapping on February 18, 2020. 7WCD750, 8LEJ855, 6MTN418, 7UIR929, BT60E16, DT263, handicap. All right, that vehicle is driving in the second lane on Sierra, and the shadow of that vehicle is reaching all the way over to the sidewalk and touching me. All right, and let me speak to Rialto police going out of their way to cross path in this environment. The entity is aware of what I'm documenting, and these are demons coming to engage in P.O.C. All right, that's what that is about, coming to Fontana to cross path. But Rialto PD were engaged in kidnapping with Lisa Rogan at the Ranch Cucamonga Superior Court, 8NNK413. And that's not forgotten. 8HNN342. That's not forgotten. And it's not forgotten for prosecution in federal prison. All right. License plate. It's 6:47 p.m. 6TMR066. That's a demon who's listening to the fact that they're going to federal prison. I'll say it again. You are going to federal prison. License plate, HEALANI, 8GDD825, 5WEB809, 7ZEC688, 8R00220, WANDA25, 8KDE294, 8REY077. So let me speak to something really quick. 6YAW886, 3616622. The environment is deliberate. Everything you're hearing is deliberate with knowledge of every word that I'm saying. So this is not only, you're talking about stalking in the path on behalf of a government, revving your engine. That is a serious violent offense under federal law. And not only that, you're speaking to what is a demon that is reacting to the words that I am stating. You're not just listening to an engine revving. It is as deliberate as is a fake moon over my head. It is as deliberate as a fake sun following me over my head. It is as deliberate as molestation with that which is not ordinary light, directed light. And that is understanding the character of Satan, because that's what you're listening to. 3XHY363. That defiance, all right? All right, that disdain for the truth, that disdain for what will be the inevitable repercussions, federal repercussions for this criminal system that I am prosecuting. All right, license, and that's telling. I want to be clear on that. That's telling. That's going to punishment, because that's the reality of what is the condition of the people of the state. 65210F3. It is the personification of the demon possessed. Understand that. Understand that. Hostility. 8YBS681. And that is also personified through the stalking of with helicopter and through law enforcement. All right, that is the personification of it. That's the reality of demonic activity. So providing ongoing translation for that. And you are deducing that from the demonic environment, 5TWY015, because that is not the fake sun that's over my head during the day and then a fake moon over my head at night. Those are the state's objects, placing them over me, because I am the center of the universe of these demon-possessed stalkers. I am the center of the universe. 6ANH144. 6RPC395. But in reality, the actual sun is not remaining over Fontana Lewis Library when I'm at that venue all day long. And following from Ontario back to city, and then having the fake moon over that same exact street to remain over me back to that to Ontario. All right, and how many of much of my documentation, wealth of it, I'm showing you what is the impossibility of this being another example of how this is clearly not the sun. You've got the fake sun and the fake moon over 2301 South Euclid Avenue, Economy Inn. All right, this is demonic, and I am the center of the universe of these demon-possessed stalkers who are hostile to the fact that I'm going to prosecute them. Monitoring with what looks like to be a child, a fat-faced one, operation of a communication device 5TWY015, while she's engaging in monitoring. In the shadow of my property, shadow in front of me, shadow behind me, while she's monitoring on a communication device with the driver. Well, they are engaging in federal stalking on the roads and the highways and monitoring with communication devices. All right, those are both means of interstate commerce. Monitoring with these group stalkers, engaging in group conduct intended to injure and intimidate, to terrorize. License 60782Z2, 8UF U887, 6BXE. I can't see the rest of that one. 7BBG462. 6YTP926, all of them monitoring with this group stalker who stops at the stoplight, which is a means of stalking with peculiarized light, your turn signal, while they're operating their communication device. That's how the group conduct works. All right, it is currently, by the way, 6:51 p.m. That's how the group conduct works. License 5MBK583. It's 6:52 p.m. License 7JWH712. ABD 408, 8JNH 603. License 6ZSS 731, 8JQB 117, 43023E3, 8JNB 770, 7HWF 594, 8LIV 856, 6JNE 606. That demon walks by in directed light in operation of a communication device saying hello is audible activity. He is monitoring as I'm getting on the internet because I'm uploading this video of the direct evidence of federal stalking as it is facilitated by the fire department, who you see in that video, and you also see directed light in that video. And you are looking at what is engagement in demonic activity and federal stalking under the fake moon, by the way, at the intersection of Sierra and Arrow in Fontana. It's 6:55 p.m. And as I'm recording that podcast, right? I'm recording my podcast, and then I switch over to capture video real quick, and that's what I do. And as I finish that video, you see in the video the fire department creating audible activity, crossing path, all right? And doing so as I'm shooting that video, they're stalking with activity. They're engaging in federal stalking on video, okay? The direct allegation, not that I need it, I've already established what these demons are doing, okay? I already established it. And then you've got ongoing direct evidence. There is no question about what these demons are doing. There's no reasonable question. There isn't. It doesn't exist. And I literally captured that, and I'll document I will publish what is the evidence of that federal stalking conduct on my phone while they sought to obstruct my podcast. Because that's what they were doing. That's what literally the fire truck was engaging in the creation of activity while I was creating that video. All right, this is molestation by license 97644K1. And I have 3 shadows in front of me while they are touching in that engineered light. That's sexual molestation. You are stalking at a stoplight. You're not in mere traffic. 7UIW118, sex offender. 8D49721. And they're sitting at the stoplight, monitoring right now. Sitting at the stoplight of Sierra Avenue and Orange Way. So is Omnitrans. Okay, it's 6:56 p.m. All right, group stalking at AXMZ087 at the Fontana Metrolink train station. Comes in front. Remember, they're in directed light. They come in front of me right here at the entrance of the train station, and they make a U-turn. They're in directed light doing that. That's their headlights. Moving it around. That's driving it around in a circle. All right, making a U-turn. All right, and doing so in engineer light. 8VYJ251. Another demon-possessed stalker coming to the corner of Nuevo to turn on to Orange Way. All right, and this group stalker sitting in their car. I'll get them with their lights on. 7WNY415, 7MXZ188. These are demons. Demons. 3BBS137, and they are stalkers. Those same stalkers drive Omnitrans buses, okay? Yes, indeedy. Those same stalkers drive Fontana Police Department vehicles and wear those uniforms, 8VSM867. Engaging in the ominous stalking conduct, sitting on the side of the street on Nuevo in the dark with their lights on, monitoring with communication devices in directed light. You are indeed stalking. It is 7 p.m. on the dot. All right, 1545811. This is Omnitrans engaging in molestation. I did take, and this is bus number 2351. They are under the fake moon, which is over the Fontana Metrolink train station. Okay, second of all, you have what is the multiple shadows, and I took images of that. They are upright on what is the surface of, while Metrolink is creating audible activity in that environment, Metrolink's engaging in sexual violence, molesting, and stalking, all right? And using its train as a means to do so in that deliberately maintained environment. You have what is touching by Omnitrans employees walking by, and their shadow in front and behind them. These are demon-possessed bus drivers, all right, in that environment, crossing the path just like every other demon, all right? And I took images of what is the multiple shadows upright on the wall in front of me at the Village at Sierra. That's the venue right across the street. And you have what is directed light reaching across and molesting me. Those are not ordinary headlights. That's light, that's engineered light. And that is the sexual violence of Omnitrans. Engaging in terrorism and sexual violence with the Rialto Police Department, with the Fontana Police Department, with the state that flew over my head in the same exact environment in the parking lot, and the Fontana Chamber of Commerce parking lot, the same exact environment. All right, the state is stalking and Omnitrans is stalking with that, and this is a very violent sex offender. Engaging in that conduct with knowledge of what you are documenting. Indeed doing it while I am using my phone, engaging in federal stalking and that sexual violence on a constant, ongoing basis. All right, that's the P.O.C. And I did capture documentation of that molestation that Omnitrans is facilitating and engaging in. It is currently 7:04 p.m. They are actively engaging in monitoring on the venue of the internet, trying to slow down internet connection. All right, it's uploading a video that's 100 megabytes. This is about a minute, less than a minute long, and you have what is taking, it says 34 minutes, 24 minutes to upload it, and I did this when I was still walking up toward the venue. All right, this is a perfectly able phone. This is monitoring on the venue of the internet, and I also captured the screenshot of the monitoring on my podcast. This is no doubt federal stalking while they're engaging in 18 U.S.C. 2261A subsections 1 and 2. This is that territory. This is the demon-possessed engaging in that criminal conduct, all right? And this is the company. You're understanding what is the context. This is the demon-possessed engaging in federal stalking. Their demonic activity is achieving what is criminal conduct, federal stalking on communication devices. And companies are engaging in it, law enforcement is engaging in it, fire departments and ambulances engaging in it, and that's what I'm documenting. And while they do so, this entirely demonic conduct is sexually violent and perverted, all right? Touching all over my breast, touching on my body parts, which they don't have any consent. I wouldn't let them touch me with my hand. With their hand, I wouldn't let them touch me with any extension of themselves. I would not let them touch me with their foot. So, and they're also not able to touch me with their engineered light, not without consent and not without suffering a very intense prosecution. All right, and doing so under the name of Omnitrans is not any different. All right, it is called malice, and you're going to prosecute for that. All right, this is how the system operates. That's how a government monitors you systematically. All right, and the fact that the state is flying over me by helicopter at the Fontana Metrolink train station, at the Fontana Lewis Library, where the directed light is present, that ongoing molestation is present, is speaking to that prosecution and that sex offender that is acting as one. Okay, that's what that showed as I captured that video, that they are currently trying to obstruct the ability to upload. It's going on the internet. This is documentation of what is obstruction of justice while the demon-possessed are being the sex offenders and the stalkers that they are. They're criminals, violent ones. All right, this is P.O.C. at the Fontana Metrolink train station, and Metrolink is present, listening to every word that I'm uttering, stalking and loitering in relevant position, all right, and using that train as a means of engaging in the criminal elements, which is demonic activity, as it is exercised by a company. All right, that's P.O.C. It's 7:06 p.m. All right, license 1302445, Omnitrans, at 7:08 p.m. All right, this is Omnitrans license plate 1479124. That's bus 1306, route 19, at 7:09 p.m. Loitering in relevant position. This is P.O.C. This is documentation of an ongoing sexual molestation of my person. The state is stalking by a plane, and helicopters is flying in circles above the State Fontana Metrolink train station. And also you have what is directed light that's covering the grounds and covering my entirety of my body. And you also have what is the fake moon. And I took what is another bad commercial for yet another third party, Metrolink, in relevant position, creating audible activity, monitoring and stalking. That's a company engaging in stalking on behalf of a government. All right, engaging in those elements on behalf of that entity under the fake moon. All right, the same parking lot where the fake sun is over the same exact venue during the day. All right, that's P.O.C. and that's what I took an image of while they're monitoring on communication devices. And that's another license plate of a third party Omnitrans at the Fontana Metrolink train station, which is nothing but a state facilitating venue. P.O.C. It's 7:10 p.m. License 7BXW435 8WDT224. All right, 7KYL217. 6VFV778. And let's see. It is currently 7:28 p.m. License plate 6XSN056. It's 7:20 and I'm on. Yeah, we're approaching. This bus is being driven by also. They turned it off. This driver engages in harassment by taking off while I'm still standing up, still putting my belongings on the bus. This is how they're engaged in their passive-aggressive hostility. And just like you would with any other person, say it was an elderly person getting on the bus, you wouldn't just take off while they're still putting their stuff. And I'm getting on the bus. I haven't even sat down yet. I'm still walking on the bus. He's just taking off, and they're iron foot on the brakes. I just want to document that form of harassment on Omnitrans. Understand it is directly related to the documentation that they very well know that I'm publishing. Just like the state flying over my head with a helicopter, while I was documenting those demons inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. Those are acts of hostility, all right? While the demons are engaging in what is criminal conduct that they're mad that I'm documenting and publishing. It is 7:29 p.m. All right, employee number 3165, and we are currently at Ontario Mills. This is loitering in relevant position as I'm on the bus, and you have what is a use of the hazard lights. And remember, directed light is on the bus, and the people are surrounding in relevant position in directed light. All right, and you have what is P.O.C. on the bus. You have the male, he crosses path, and I'm referencing the surveillance cameras on the bus as well. He's crossing path, and I am, the whole time I'm operating my phone, he's crossing path on the bus, and then the bus driver opens up the door while this creates light activity as he does so. And the bus driver opens the door at the same time that I open up my app to take a picture of what is crossing path and stalking with activity by the third-party patron on the bus. All right, walking past on the bus in directed light is crossing path. Use of the hazard lights is stalking with peculiarized light. And this is again the driver 3165, and that's P.O.C. while we are at the Ontario Mills right now. It's 7:51 p.m. and the people are ceaselessly engaged in concert with the state that is stalking by plane and helicopter while I'm on the bus, okay, following with the fake moon, all right, back to Ontario. All right, and that group stalker is acting with the bus driver. They're monitoring together. All right, he's opening up and closing the door, turning the lights on and off. That's light activity. He's walking past me. He's stalking with activity, crossing path, and doing so on the bus. All right, it's 7:51 p.m. Eight WUY010. And the fake moon is remaining in the window on Holt Boulevard, arriving at Lemon and Holt.
Ontario Civic Center Transfer Station, connecting to Wall 61 and 83.
And that is from the parking lot of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce, where I captured that demon-possessed stalker that was monitoring as the helicopter flew over me. And he gets in his vehicle in directed light, crossing path, monitoring with communication devices under the fake moon that remains in the window of the bus. This is P.O.C. and that was P.O.C. All right, and I did capture images of what is the ongoing horrible commercial for Omnitrans, engaging in federal stalking, and is a sex offender, engaging in what is practicing demonic activity, showing the condition of the employees, the owners of this company, engaging in criminal conduct with the government. And this is the fake moon, and I just go ahead and captured it. I'm capturing it at the Fontana Metrolink train station, as Metrolink is engaging in the same exact system at the Fontana Metrolink train station. The state following with its fake moon in the same way it follows with its fake sun, remaining in the window directly in the picture where you're looking at what is Omnitrans stalking in the path with the state, and the fake moon is directly over it. You could see the third party acting pursuant to that system right under the fake moon. All right, and this is license plate again. This demon-possessed stalker engaging in harassment by accelerating and braking very hard, but while I don't get a chance to sit down, causing my property to fall over on the bus while they're monitoring. It's a means of activity creation. It is also a demon that's expressing hostility. These are all the tactics that they engage in, okay? While the fake moon is remaining in my window. 1545811. I want to be clear, the fake moon that is visible squarely over the Ontario Museum of History and Art, squarely over the vehicle at 630 North Fern when I'm there at that part of Ontario, and over the Fontana Lewis Library while I'm there, and the state is flying over in helicopter. While I am present at the Fontana Metrolink train station, remaining over that venue, this is stalking with a light source. This is speaking to the centrality of the target individual amongst the demon-possessed. It's entirely terrorism. This is terrorism. While the state stalks with this sort of environment, that is not the moon, that's over that parking lot, and then remains in alignment with me, over the vehicle in real time while I'm back to Ontario, and it remains stationary over the Ontario Museum of History and Art. All right, that's the P.O.C. 5GXD 226, I believe. Can't really see it. It's a Nissan Altima going down transit. License plate of Omnitrans after loitering and molesting, license 1545811. They're all monitoring with communication devices, getting on and off the bus in relevant position in directed light, stalking, literally as they stop to get on the bus, as they signal to request to stop, as they walk to the front of the bus, and this is what I'm capturing images of. He is group stalking on the bus. A demon that knows exactly what I'm doing on my phone. All right, this is demonic activity. All right, this is the ability to prosecute what is demonic activity, and these demons know what you're doing on the internet, on a phone. Okay, it's entirely demonic what they do, and they are engaging in what is the strict code of conduct. It's called the pattern of conduct because they abide by a strict pattern. And that demon is crossing path in what is the maintained environment in directed light. And also you have a hallmark of the state stalking with what is another light source in the sky, the fake moon that remains over me from venue to venue, from the Fontana Lewis Library, the fake sun during the day, over the same Fontana Metrolink train station, over the same Ontario Museum of History and Art, all right, over the same Omnitrans bus, which is a venue. And the fake moon going that same route back to Ontario, the museum where I started. This is the entity, okay? And that is demonic as well, while they are literally engaging in what is a systematic engagement in these criminal elements of monitoring, light activity and relevant positioning. You have the hallmark of the state stalking with helicopter, the hallmark of the state stalking via law enforcement in that environment, all right? This is the P.O.C, and that's what I captured images of. Ongoing evidence of what is the entity to be prosecuted for the violent sex offender that it is, while they systematically violate the person, while they are stalking altogether as the demon possessed, engaging in terrorism, all right, as one. It is 8:22 p.m. at Lemon and Holt, and that is Omnitrans engaging in ongoing sexual molestation, and that is the prosecution of a company engaging in such sexual violence and engaging in what is terrorism in concert with law enforcement as well. That's what Omnitrans engaged in with Fontana PD, and that's what I took an image of. And I also captured images of what is obstruction of justice, while this demon-possessed entity that is engaging in federal stalking seeks to obstruct justice by obstructing the podcast that was recorded. All right, I still have the evidence of the P.O.C. And not only that, you have what is 7 VBE 126, what is the ongoing pattern, and where this entity has engaged in kidnapping. Like I said, the targeted individuals' direct testimonies shall be sufficient, but I am establishing precedent with regard to any American citizen's ability to prosecute a government. It is 8:23 p.m. That's P.O.C. See, I can't see that one. Let's see, 5MYL 940, 6B U.C 037. All right, it is 8:25 p.m. This is ongoing molestation. Paper plate. Let's see. BF59855. All right, that is molestation. I took a picture of all 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 of my shadows while I'm at the corner of what is Plum and Hope Boulevard. That is molestation. You are touching in that engineered light. You are stalking in the path. You're a predator that is there to touch. That's what they do with regard to the pattern of conduct, all right? And that is going to be the prosecution of a very violent sex offender that is stalking you, all right? And repeatedly touching, systematically touching all over your body. 7FAX171. Engaging in that molestation via stalking in a drive-thru is license plate 8PY0592. They are sitting in the drive-thru in the state's environment, monitoring with the communication device, stalking via Andy's Burgers drive-thru. It is 8:26 p.m. All right, license 5CHC 649 at Shiro's Liquor. Stalking in the path, all right, making sure that they are present as I exit the store. It is 8:29 p.m. All right, license 8JNJ301. You have peculiarized light inside of the parking lot of B&G Plaza, 6TEL926, 425PHA1, 81, excuse me. 7GLC 164, 8TPZ 734. And monitoring to this peculiarized light is 6RDU 961, 8GLC 922. And this peculiarized light, keeping it in the parking lot, and I just showed you all my shadows. There's no question about what this is. This is the demonic behavioral pattern creating light activity in that engineered light. This is IE Global Management Incorporated, US.3329592, MC 1215224. It is a yellow truck, and the license plate (82022B3). This is here for the criminal purpose of the people of the state. Not only is this driver monitoring, but this is conduct that enables them to get in the drive-through and enables them to better monitor with their communication devices. It is enhancement in the engineered light that surrounds. I just showed images of what are 5 shadows around me while I'm at that intersection of Holt and Plum. 82022B3 is the front and back plate on that truck. All right, and that's demonic activity. And they are likely inside of Andy's Burgers, and they are on camera. Andy's Burgers has cameras inside. 8GLC 922. Everybody making a purchase is documenting themselves. 6777 5W1 8LRD 613. I already read them. Yeah, that's 8JNJ. That's the correct plate. 301. All right. Also monitoring and molesting. License 5RHA 711. 8WIN 369. It is 8:32 p.m. 8AMN 134 6RJS 794. This triple A AA meeting of the demon possessed that are in directed light, 6905 1P1. They have good coffee though, I can smell it. 7LUX 714. 7V32090, 7EHG187, 7W09352, 62804C3. AA meetings do not help you with demon possession. I don't know that they even really help much with drinking, but they're engaging in criminal conduct, so that's a whole other issue that they have. It's 8:33 p.m. All right, this group stalker meeting at Lemon and Transit coming from the back street. All right, this is a demon-possessed stalker engaging in ominous stalking conduct, large shadow of the vehicle in front. They're in directed light. This is P.O.C. operation of communication device, 5GKD226. That's the same demon-possessed stalker who was crossing path while I was documenting Omnitrends. So right, they went back there, they stayed back there, and they have been waiting. I went to B&G Plaza, I made a purchase. That same Nissan Altima has been waiting in the back. That's the ominous stalking conduct. That is the demonic activity. This is the demonic single mindset, okay? They're demons. This is demonic activity. I cited that Nissan, all right? And that is the same one that's coming from the back street, just sitting at the back street, just waiting. All right, the same thing at Transit, a group stalker, a demon-possessed stalker at the same location where the Ontario police were stalking with light, engaging in terrorism at Transit on the opposite side of the street, on the southbound side of Euclid, and they're sitting in their vehicles with their brake lights toward this direction. That's stalking with light. They're monitoring, it's creating light in the engineered light. All right, this is P.O.C. and that Nissan Altima is monitoring with this group stalker that's maintaining light around the perimeter. That's what they're doing. And that is literally documentation of that demon-possessed stalker. That's demonic, what is inspiring that, what he is doing. And doing it with the government. All right, I do not know him. All right, this is demonic. And he was sitting back there on Emporia waiting for me to walk. It is not a coincidence that he is driving forward as I am approaching an open pathway. That is the pattern. That's P.O.C. That's demonic activity. That is terrorism by the demon-possessed who are engaging in federal stalking. It is 8:35 p.m. Union Pacific, just like Metrolink, engaging in ongoing sexual violence, terrorism, and stalking, using a train, interstate commerce, to do it. Under the fake moon. And I sure did go ahead and take a picture of what is the fake moon, while Union Pacific is the means of audible activity, while I'm being molested with directed light, and the demon-possessed third parties that are the people of the state and the state proper are stalking together. And the fake moon is right over. And that's another bad commercial, all right? You have an ongoing coincidence, right? No, it's called a pattern. My ability to capture what's supposedly the sun and or the moon while I'm documenting what are alleged group stalkers. They are stalkers, and you're seeing the environment that they are stalking in. That's Union Pacific under the fake moon at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. That's P.O.C.